हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू वाव एएस। वेलकम टू द डिस्कशन ऑन डेली एमसीक्यू। आज है 30 जून 2021 और अब हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं आज के 5 करंट अफेयर बेस्ड एमसीक्यूज। तो चलिए शुरू कर दें। फर्स्ट लेट अस डिस्कस द क्वेश्चन दैट वाज आस्क्ड यस्टरडे। कल का क्वेश्चन था पिनाका विच was seen in the news recently is related to what, and some of you have given the correct answer as well. So yesterday it was Shubham and Divya who gave the correct answers. Now let us discuss this question. So Pinaka is a multi-barrel rocket launcher. Recently DRDO successfully testified the extended range version of this Pinaka in the sorry. So it was tested in the coast of Odisha in Chandipur, and the test range, actually the island is called Abdul Kalam Island. ठीक है. And Pinaka, if you see this name, this rocket launcher is named after the mythological bow of Lord Shiva. That is the importance of this Pinaka. And this Pinaka is jointly developed by Pune-based Armament Research and Development Establishment and High Energy Material Research Laboratory with manufacturing support from Economic Explosives Limited, Nagpur. And Pinaka is such a great rocket launcher. It can launch up to 12 rockets within just 44 seconds. So that is the importance of Pinaka. And it is used for attacking the adversary targets prior to close quarter battles, which involve small range artillery, armored element and the infantry. So that is the importance of Pinaka. And let's move on. So before we start, just a small information, guys. We are uploading the daily MCQs based on the current affairs and their solutions in a detailed way in our Telegram channel in the PDF format. You can download this PDF and save it and use it for your preparation. Okay, so do join our Telegram channel whose details I've given in the description, and do spread the word of WOW AS. Now let's begin. First question. Consider the following statements with respect to Attorney General of India. First one, Attorney General of India is part of the Union Executive. Second one, the procedure and grounds for the removal of Attorney General are clearly specified in the Article 76 of the Constitution. So you have to tell about this. We have to choose the correct statements, in fact. So if you see the first statement, Attorney General is part of the Union Executive, this is right. But the second statement, if you see, the procedure and ground for removal of Attorney General, they are actually not clearly stated in Article 76. The Attorney General will be in that position only during the pleasure of the President. So the second statement is wrong and first statement is right, and A1 only is the correct answer. So some more information, if you see, actually why this was in news is recently the central government reappointed Attorney General KK Venugopal as the Attorney General of India for one more year. So this extension was given to him, so that's why this was in news. So this Attorney General, if you see, he is the chief legal advisor of the government of India and the primary lawyer in the Supreme Court of India. So he is part of the Union Executive, and also he is part of the Parliament where he can take part in the proceedings, but the only thing is that he cannot vote, right? So he is appointed by the President under Article 76 of the Constitution, and he holds the office during the pleasure of the President. So the removal, the grounds for the removal is not given. Okay? And the qualification for a person to be appointed as the Attorney General is that he should be eligible to be appointed as the Judge of the Supreme Court. That is the only qualification. Okay, so that means he has to be a citizen of India. He has to complete at least 5 years in High Court as a judge, or 10 years in the High Court as an advocate, or he might be an eminent jurist in the eye of President. Only then he can be appointed as the Attorney General of India. Okay? And he has the right to audience in any court in India. He can represent the government in any court in India. And also another thing is that he cannot take up any private cases, but if he takes, he has to take the permission of the central government. That is another important thing. And last thing is that the Attorney General is assisted by the Solicitor General and the Additional Solicitor Generals. The Solicitor General and Additional Solicitor General, if you see, they are not constitutional bodies. They are not constitutional, whereas Attorney General is a constitutional body. Right? Now let's move on to the next question. So next question, if you see, consider the following statements with respect to Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gram Jyoti Yojana. First one, it aims to achieve universal village electrification through feeder separation and strengthening transmission and distribution infrastructure. Second one, BEE, Bureau of Energy Efficiency, is the nodal agency for Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gram Jyoti Yojana. So here we have to choose the correct answer. A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 nor 2. So if you see here, the correct answer is A 1 only, because the nodal agency for Deen Dayal Gram Jyoti Yojana, it is not this Bureau of Energy Efficiency, rather it is the Rural Electrification Corporation. This is the nodal agency. So that's why the second statement is wrong. So actually why this was in news is recently Union Ministry of State for Power, New and Renewable Energy has launched the India Story booklet on India initiatives for shaping the energy transition. So the government has taken various initiatives for the transition of energy, okay, and also to ensure that even the rural areas get electricity. And some of the initiatives, if you see, the Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gram Jyoti Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Sahaj Bijli Har Ghar Yojana, that is Saubhagya scheme, the One Nation One Grid, the National Smart Grid Mission, and Smart Metering initiatives. These are the ones. And Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gram Jyoti Yojana, if you see, the government has launched this scheme for rural electrification. The erstwhile Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Vidyutikaran Yojana scheme for village electrification and providing electricity distribution infrastructure in the rural areas, it has been subsumed under this Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gram Jyoti Yojana. And the objective, if you see, is to ensure electrification to all villages and also feeder separation to ensure sufficient power to farmers and regular supply to other consumers. And also this is to improve sub-transmission and distribution network to improve the quality and reliability of the supply, and also to reduce the metering losses. And as I told already, the Rural Electrification Corporation is the nodal agency for this Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gram Jyoti Yojana. So this is the information regarding this scheme. Okay? Now let's move on to the next question. The third question. Every year Statistics Day is celebrated on 29th June. This is on the recognition of notable contribution made by Professor P.C. Mahalanobis in establishing the National Statistical System. Second one, India employed Mahalanobis model in all the 5-year plans which work towards the rapid industrialization of India. So if you see this question, the first statement is right, whereas the second statement is not right, because it is only the second 5-year plan which is known as, or you can say only the second 5-year plan followed the suggestions of Mahalanobis. So that is the reason the second statement is wrong while the first statement is right. So A1 only is the correct answer. So every year on June 29th we celebrate National Statistical Day to commemorate the birth anniversary of the great statistician of India, P.C. Mahalanobis. And the theme of this year, that is 2021, is SDG 2, ending hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. This is the theme. And Mahalanobis, if you see, he is referred to as the chief architect of Indian statistics system as well as the father of statistics science in India. He established the Indian Statistical Institute in 1931 in Kolkata, and he was very instrumental in setting up of MOSPI, that is the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, along with the CSO, the Chief Statistical Organization, and also the National Sample Survey Organization, along with Annual Survey of Industry. So almost all the statistical organizations, their setting up is being done under the supervision of this great statistician P.C. Mahalanobis. So he's one of the greatest, you can say, statistician of India. And if you see, as I told already, it was the second 5-year plan which worked towards rapid industrialization through government industries, setting up of government industries, and this plan is known as Mahalanobis plan. It is the second 5-year plan, right? Now let's move on to the next question. The fourth question, Baitan hydropower project, sometimes seen in the news, is located in A, Nepal, B, India, C, China, and D, Myanmar. It is C, China. So the Baitan hydropower project recently was put into operation by China, and this is the world's second largest, or you can say second biggest hydropower dam, right? So this is located in the southwestern China, which is built on Jinsha River, tributary of Yangtze River, and this is 289 meter tall. The dam is 289 meter tall and have 16 generating units with a capacity of 1 million kilowatt, right? So this is about this dam, which is the second largest in the world, Baitan Dam in China. Now the last question of the day. Which of the following is the characteristic of the tropical savanna region? Characteristic climate of tropical savanna region. A, rainfall throughout the year. B, rainfall in winter only. C, extremely short dry season. And D, a definite dry and wet season. So this is about the savanna. So here the correct answer is D, a definite dry and wet season. The savanna climate is also a Sudan type of climate. So here you can find distinct wet and dry seasons. It is a transitional type of climate which can be found between the equatorial rainforest and the deserts of the subtropics. Generally the rainfall in this region is concentrated during summers, but after that, they will have a long dry season. And because of this long dry season, animals also migrate. In the northern hemisphere, this type of climate is generally found in Africa, the African Sudan, East Africa, and South America generally. Okay? And the highest temperature in this region, especially, it occurs just before the onset of rainy season. That is the important thing. Okay, so just before the rainy season, highest temperatures occur, and this is somewhere between April in northern hemisphere and October in the southern hemisphere. So you can see there is extreme diurnal range of temperature in this savanna type of climate, and the type of vegetation is you can say most of it is grassland only. The grassland in the South America, this type of grassland is called veld, the bush veld it is called. Okay, right. So this is about this savanna type of climate, and here I have given some more extra information. You can just go through it, but if you have any doubt, you can just ask in the comment box, and we will definitely get back to you. Right. Now let's look at the question of the day. The question of the day is, what is dendrochronology related to? Dendrochronology related to. You have to give your answer in the comment box, and tomorrow we will discuss this answer before the start of the discussion. Right. So guys, these are our initiatives: Vision Prelims Test Series, Vision Mains Test Series, Vision Monthly Magazine, and Vision PT365. So we have summarized all of these tests and the PT365 so as to make sure your preparation becomes easy. So do join our Telegram channel, whose details are there in the description, to make best use of these initiatives and gain maximum in the prelims examination, in the upcoming prelims examination especially. Right. So that's it, friends, for the day. I'll see you again tomorrow with 5 more MCQs. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned. Jai Hind.